Have you ever stood up too quickly in the morning, only to feel lightheaded or dizzy? Maybe your heart flutters for a moment, or perhaps your legs feel like they've forgotten how to hold you. You brush it off thinking, well, I guess that's just what getting older feels like. But let me tell you something, that moment matters more than you think. Hi, I'm a geriatric stroke specialist, and after decades of caring for seniors, I've come to recognize a heartbreaking pattern, one I wish more people understood before it's too late. Strokes are not just a health event. For many, they mark the beginning of lost independence, speech difficulties, memory loss, or the need for 24-hour care. And here's the part most people don't realize: the risk of stroke isn't evenly spread out through the day. In fact, some of the most dangerous minutes happen within the first hour after you open your eyes. That's right. The moment you wake up, before you even make it to the kitchen or turn on the news, your brain and heart are already in a fragile, high-risk state. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this because I've seen it again and again in my patients. But I've also seen the other side, the ones who walk into my office smiling at 80, 85, even 90, still living independently, still driving, still mentally sharp. And more often than not, they share one thing in common: a simple morning habit that protects their brain, supports their heart, and reduces their risk of stroke. In this video, I want to walk you through that habit step by step. You don't need fancy equipment. You don't need a gym membership. All you need is your body, a little intention, and a few minutes each morning. Let's start with something almost nobody talks about, but it's absolutely critical: your blood consistency in the morning. When you sleep, your body naturally goes into a slower, more restful mode. You don't drink water for 6 to 8 hours. Your heart rate drops, your breathing slows. That's great for recovery, but it also means your blood becomes thicker. That thick, sluggish blood is one of the main reasons why strokes and heart attacks are most likely to happen in the early morning. Imagine trying to water your garden through a narrow hose filled with mud. The pressure builds, the flow struggles. That's what's happening inside your arteries when you wake up dehydrated. And when that thickened blood tries to pass through narrow, possibly already damaged vessels in the brain, that's when disaster strikes. So here's the first habit I beg every senior to adopt: hydrate the moment you wake up. Before you reach for coffee, before you check your phone, before you even get out of bed, drink a full glass of water. Not cold water, not just a sip, but a generous glass, around 16 ounces of room temperature water, preferably with a squeeze of fresh lemon. Now I know what some of you are thinking, but won't that just make me pee more? And yes, it might. But trust me, it's a far better trade-off than risking a stroke. The lemon isn't just for taste. It delivers potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure, and vitamin C, which supports your blood vessels. More importantly, it jumpstarts your metabolism and gently wakes up your digestive and circulatory systems. It's like telling your body, good morning, it's time to move again. One of my patients, Evelyn, age 74, used to wake up groggy and confused, even though she slept 8 hours a night. Her daughter brought her in because she was worried Evelyn was showing signs of early dementia. But after doing a few tests, we ruled that out. Instead, I asked Evelyn to describe her mornings. She said she stayed in bed until she felt stable, then slowly shuffled to the kitchen, made coffee, and didn't drink water until much later. We made one simple change: water first thing. Within 2 weeks, Evelyn's brain fog had noticeably improved. She said, "I feel like my thoughts get going faster now." That wasn't magic, it was oxygen-rich blood finally flowing to her brain on time. The key isn't just what you drink, it's when you drink it. That first 5 minutes after waking up, that's your golden window. Don't wait, don't delay. Your brain is begging for hydration and your heart is depending on it. But hydration is just one part, because once you're hydrated, you're not done. You've prepped the blood, but now you have to help it move. That leads me to the second part of this life-saving morning habit: circulation activation. Now, before you picture high-energy jumping jacks or anything that might throw your back out, let me stop you right there. I'm talking about gentle movement, just enough to invite your blood to return to your upper body, especially your brain. Think about it. You've been horizontal all night. Gravity has pooled most of your blood in your legs. When you sit or stand up quickly, your brain gets starved of oxygen for a moment, and that's why so many seniors feel dizzy in the morning. If that oxygen drop is sharp enough, it could cause fainting. And in someone with narrowed arteries, it could mean a stroke. So what should you do? As soon as you finished your water, before you walk across the room, do a simple 60-second circulation booster. While still seated on the edge of your bed, Roll your shoulders back and forward 5 times. Lift your heels and toes, alternating to pump blood from your calves. Take a deep breath in as you raise your arms gently overhead, then exhale slowly as you bring them down. This isn't exercise, it's blood rebalancing. You're telling your body, let's get moving, but let's do it safely. I had a patient named George, age 79, who had a history of minor strokes. We started him on this exact routine: water, first, then 60 seconds of movement. 1 month later, he walked into my clinic and said, "Doc, I don't wobble when I wake up anymore." And that small shift gave him the confidence to start gardening again, his favorite hobby that he had almost given up. And that's the real beauty of this habit. It's not just about stroke prevention, it's about freedom, about reclaiming your mornings, about feeling safe in your own body again. Now that we've laid the foundation, hydration and circulation, let's keep going. Now that your body's hydrated and your circulation is gently flowing, there's another crucial piece of this stroke prevention puzzle: muscle preservation. Most people don't realize this, but muscle loss isn't just about getting weaker or being unable to open a stubborn jar. After the age of 60 every year, you lose a little more lean muscle, especially if you're not moving often or not eating enough protein. And here's what many don't know: muscle loss increases stroke risk both directly and indirectly. Let me explain how. First, muscle helps maintain blood sugar and blood pressure, 2 of the biggest stroke risk factors. When your muscle mass shrinks, your body loses its ability to regulate those systems effectively. Second, less muscle means weaker legs and poor balance, which makes you more likely to fall. One serious fall, it could land you in the hospital immobile and vulnerable to blood clots, which can travel to the brain and cause a stroke. Now here's the part that's most often overlooked: your muscles are breaking down every single night while you sleep. That's right. Between about 3 SHRN and 8 SHRN in the morning, your body enters a catabolic state, a phase where it uses stored energy to keep your systems running. And if it doesn't have enough energy available, it starts pulling it from your own muscle tissue. Which means if you don't eat protein soon after waking up, your body starts its day by eating away at your strength. That's why the third part of this morning stroke prevention habit is about fueling your muscles with protein early. Now, I'm not saying you need to whip up a full steak and eggs breakfast the second your feet hit the floor, but you do need a small, easy-to-digest source of high-quality protein within the first 30 minutes of waking. It could be a scoop of protein powder in water or almond milk, a boiled egg and a slice of toast, a few spoonfuls of Greek yogurt, a soft tofu smoothie if you're a vegetarian. Keep it light, keep it simple. The goal is not to feel full, it's to send your muscles a signal. You're safe. We're feeding you. And in doing so, you preserve the muscle that supports your blood vessels, balances your sugar, and stabilizes your weight, all of which lower your stroke risk. Let me share the story of May, a bright, funny 82-year-old widow who loved to read mystery novels. She didn't have major health issues, but her energy was fading fast in the mornings. After a small scare with her blood pressure spiking one morning, her daughter brought her in to see me. We added one thing to May's routine: a small protein shake with breakfast, just 20 grams of protein within 20 minutes of waking. Within 2 weeks, she told me, "I feel stronger when I stand up. Like my legs remember how to hold me." That's not just her imagination. Protein preserves leg strength, and leg strength prevents falls, improves circulation, and reduces inflammation, all of which matter when we talk about brain health. But protein alone won't keep your muscles strong. You also need to remind your body to use those muscles each day, especially after 65, when muscle memory starts to slip away if it's not being regularly activated. This brings us to the fourth key to this morning habit: gentle muscle activation. This isn't a workout. This is about waking up your muscles the same way you wake up your mind. A few short movements that tell your body we're here, we're strong, we're ready. Here's what I recommend: 2 minutes of gentle bodyweight movement after your circulation warm-up. That could look like this: marching in place for 30 seconds, sitting down and standing up from a chair 5-10 times, calf raises or toe taps while brushing your teeth, light arm circles or gentle wall push-ups. If you're more mobile, add a slow walk down the hall or a couple of deep squats to a chair. If you're less mobile, stay seated and lift your knees one at a time. You're not aiming for cardio. You're just activating muscle groups so that blood continues flowing, sugar levels stabilize, and your nervous system fully wakes up. It's like flipping on the lights in a house, and if you only turn on one room, the rest stays dim. But when you move your arms, your legs, your back, you're lighting up your whole system. One of the greatest misconceptions I hear from seniors is, I don't need to move much because I'm not going anywhere. But here's the truth, your body doesn't care where you're going. It just needs to know you're still moving. Motion is what signals the body to stay strong. Without that signal, muscles weaken, circulation slows, and stroke risk climbs higher. That's what happened to Franklin, a 76-year-old retired pilot. He used to be sharp, strong, and active, but after a knee injury, he slowed down. And then kept slowing down even after the injury healed. His balance got worse. He felt dizzy after standing, and eventually he suffered a mild stroke while stepping out of bed. We started him on a morning muscle activation plan, just 2 to 3 minutes each morning. Within a month, his blood pressure had stabilized. Within 2 months, his confidence returned. He told me, "Doc, I feel like I have my pilot legs back." That's what I want for you. Your pilot legs, your gardening hands, your dancing feet. Whatever it is that makes you feel alive. And the truth is, you don't need a gym to do it. You don't need equipment. You don't even need to leave your house. Just a few steps each morning, a few gentle reminders to your body, and a commitment to stay consistent. Because health after 60 isn't about intensity, it's about intention. The little things you do every day are what shape your future. And that leads us to one final piece. You've hydrated, you've boosted circulation, you've fed your muscles, you've woken them up. But there's still one part of your body left to activate, the most important one, your brain. You've hydrated your body, you've gently stirred your circulation and activated your muscles. Now there's one final piece, perhaps the most overlooked of all. It's the organ that shapes how you think, speak, remember, love, and experience life. I'm talking about your brain. Most of my patients over 60 aren't as worried about wrinkles or gray hair. You know what they tell me, doctor? I just don't want to lose my mind. And I hear that because nothing is more frightening than feeling like your memory is slipping or that you're not quite you anymore. Here's the hopeful truth: you don't have to surrender your mind to aging. You can nourish it, protect it, and sharpen it, especially if you start first thing in the morning. Why the morning? Because science shows us something remarkable. Within the first 30 minutes of waking, your brain is in a hyper-receptive state. It's alert, flexible, and more responsive to new information. It's like a sponge. And what you feed it in that golden window, just like your muscles, shapes how strong it stays. This brings us to the fifth and final part of this morning stroke prevention routine: mental activation. Now, I'm not talking about brain games or crossword puzzles, though. Those have their place. I'm talking about something much simpler, something powerful enough to rewire your brain's memory pathways, but gentle enough to do in your pajamas: daily mental recall. Here's how it works. Once you've hydrated, stretched, and moved a bit, sit comfortably, close your eyes for 1 minute, and do this. Recall your previous day in reverse order. Start with what you had for dinner, then move backward to the afternoon. Who did you talk to? What errands did you run? What did you watch, read, or think about? Keep going step by step until you reach the moment you woke up the day before. It sounds simple, but what you're actually doing is flexing your working memory, activating your hippocampus, the part of your brain that forms and organizes new memories. And most importantly, you're training your brain to navigate time and sequence, which are the very skills that often fade early in cognitive decline. When you do this every day, you're not just remembering your day, you're building new neural pathways, like walking a path in the woods over and over until it becomes a trail. One of my patients, Lila, started doing this after noticing she'd forget why she walked into a room. She was terrified it meant Alzheimer's. I reassured her and introduced this reverse recall method as a gentle exercise. She was skeptical, but 2 weeks in, she came back smiling and said, "I didn't just remember what I ate, I remembered where I left my sunglasses." These little victories matter. Not because we need to remember everything, but because they remind us that our minds are still alive, still learning, still fighting for clarity. Now let's talk about the bonus benefit. This mental recall doesn't just protect your memory, it also helps reduce stroke risk in an indirect but powerful way. Why? Because when your brain is alert and engaged, it sends signals to the rest of the body. Wake up, move, flow, heal. It increases blood flow to the brain. It lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that contributes to inflammation and blood vessel damage. And it boosts the production of BDNF, a protein often called Miracle-Gro, for your brain cells. The very same protein that declines with age and stress, but surges with mental activation. And just like that, your 5-minute habit becomes a full-body ritual. Hydration, circulation, muscle support, movement, mental clarity, all working together like the gears of a well-oiled machine. Now let me ask you this. How do you want your mornings to feel? Do you want to wake up groggy, stiff, disconnected from your body and mind? Or do you want to greet the day knowing you've already protected your heart, activated your brain, and taken 5 powerful steps toward living independently, confidently, and joyfully? No matter your age, I can't promise that a 5-minute routine will prevent every stroke or protect you from every challenge. But I can tell you this. For every patient I've seen thrive well into their 80s and 90s, this pattern is their daily habits done early, done with intention. And for many of those who didn't make it or whose lives changed dramatically after a preventable event, that morning moment, the one where it all could have shifted, was missed. So here's my advice, not as a doctor, but as someone who deeply cares about your future. Start tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect morning or the right time. Just begin with a glass of water, a few deep breaths, a gentle stretch, a simple breakfast, a moment of reflection, 5 minutes. That's it. Because what you do in the first 5 minutes could protect the next 5 years or even 15. And if this message spoke to you, I invite you to do 2 things. First, leave a comment below. Let me know where you're watching from or which habit you're going to try first. I read every single one, and your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Second, if you found this helpful, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. This space is dedicated to seniors like you, people who want to stay strong, independent, and healthy without gimmicks, pills, or fear tactics. Just real advice rooted in real life. Together, we're proving that age doesn't define you, habits do. Here's to mornings filled with strength, focus, and peace. Here's to fewer strokes, more memories, and a future full of mornings you'll actually enjoy waking up to. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.